you to this program?
He's very helpful. Just from helping us, bring energy to practice and off the field to putting the arm over you when you need help or you need a brother to like be by you and just he's just a great guy overall. And when it's time to work, it's time to work. And you can tell when he's serious and everybody else's demeanor starts to change a little bit, and we just try to get work done and become better.
I was going to call this year, what was the journey like for you guys this year, but last year was kind of a journey in itself for you guys. But just this year, I mean, a lot of people, I think, looked at that game against Florida early and said, maybe Utah isn't what they were the year before.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel you guys have kind of developed, progressed since that Florida game?
Definitely there's going to be changes, throughout the season, and it was a great game and a great chance to get out there and be able to compete. But I feel like that was just like kind of the start, and we needed that. We needed to break that kind of break that seal a little bit, and see what we kind of had, and it was something that we had to face, the adversity, and something that we overcame, and overall we ended up here, and that's something that we've been working for.
Awesome, thanks, man.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
What up, Braeden?
What's going on?
Did you play in this game last year?
Yes, sir.
What does it mean to you to be playing in the Rose Bowl again?
It's nothing but a blessing, and some people get to only play in it once, and to get to play in it twice is just awesome and something that is exciting.
Second year being here, kind of see what you guys get to do in the community in terms of having an impact on the community. What's it like this year or last year in terms of how the community has received y'all?
Man, last year, I felt like it was a Utah football game and a home game for us, and it was awesome to have all the fans and just nuts to see all of them go crazy when we scored. And you get to see the number of Ohio State fans and the number of Utah fans, and we just outnumbered them. And I'm hoping it's like that this year.
Is your family going to be able to come out and watch the game?
Yeah, my uncle and mom and dad, and it's going to be good to have my family come out and watch.
Nice. If you had a message to your family in terms of thanking them for being here and also just the support they've given you all season, what would you say to them?
I just appreciate y'all supporting me and everything I've done, and I know it's been a long journey, and it takes a village to raise a kid, and I'm just blessed and thankful.
So we're trying to think of theme videos that we can do with the team.
Okay.
What's a quality in the team? Is everyone obsessed with sneakers or cars or music? What's kind of the vibe of the team in that sense?
Let's see. I know a lot of people. I know we have we used to have a lot of golfers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've done NIL events, and we've all gone out and played golf with the fans and stuff like that. So I know the team does that a lot. And then
Do you play?
every now and then, not the best at it, but I'm starting to work on it, work on my game a little bit. But
are there a lot of courses around Salt Lake?
yeah, there's they're really nice too, and with the scenery and the mountains and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good little vibe.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so golf, that's a good one.
It's more of a summertime sport though.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
you can't golf 4 months out of the year.
A little too cold, but.
Do you ski?
I've gone snowboarding before, but I haven't gone skiing yet.
Okay.
I'm a little scared for that one. Yeah.
Messes up your knees pretty quickly. All right, cool. We'll work off of golf. Do you watch PGA stuff? Do you know the pros?
Yeah, a
More
couple
just
of
play
them,
yourself.
but
Okay.
more just trying to learn how to play.
Yeah, go out
I feel
there and whack a ball.
it's just kind of building relationships and
For sure.
yeah,
it's
the
all
business side of it and
Exactly.
just yeah,
Nice.
but yeah.
All right. Well, thanks.
Definitely just, after being here last year and getting to experience it and being able to see what the Rose Bowl is like and all the traditions, and then coming back this year and knowing it's more business-like and more we came here for a reason and we want the trophy and we want to go and take it, and we know it's not ours and we have to go work for it, and that's just kind of the vibe and the way we want to represent our team this year.
What do you see in the Penn State defense as you're looking at the film and things like that stands out to you?
I've heard that they're a lot like our Utah defense, and they're physical, and I feel like we're a physical team as well, and it's going to be a battle in the trenches, and we're missing a couple components, and they're missing a couple components, but it's going to be a fun game and a good environment to play in.
How would you describe the progression of Cam Rising over, when he stepped in, obviously last year in that San Diego State game, to where he is today?
I think it's something that like Cam has been working for his entire life, and I just think everything he's faced from like injuries and things was the adversity that he needed to propel and become the player that he is today. And I think he's just a great player, and he really enjoys playing the game of football, and he enjoys winning and going out there and winning with his brothers for sure. And I just think, him getting better each and every year and each and every game, and he's had like his faults here and there, but it's all part of the learning process.
How much is this a battle of attrition up front? Obviously, both teams are trying to win that battle in the trenches. So how much does it come down to not just the first wave of few plays, but just be able to maintain that ferociousness throughout the game?
No, definitely we have to come out ready to work, and we have to come out physical, and we have to be able to dominate, and we can't come out slow and be a second half team. We have to come ready to put up some points on the board and dominate.
Braeden, I'm sure you guys felt all was lost after Oregon, right? Not knowing where you're going to go. Probably didn't think you'd wind up here. Can you talk about what it was like after that loss and leading up to getting back here for you guys?
We just tried to have a lot of faith and, believe, and just really keep our head down, keep working, believe that everything is going to work out in our favor, and which it did. And, just, keep our head on the straight and narrow and have that tunnel vision and have the same focus that we had at the beginning of the year.
How fortunate do you feel to be back here?
It's definitely a blessing. Last year it was fun and it was a great experience, but this year we really want to bring that trophy home.
Is it more of a business trip this time? I mean, last year, the first time at the Rose Bowl, you guys were probably, oh wow, we're here at the Rose Bowl. Is it different this time from that standpoint?
Definitely it was a business trip last time as well, but I feel like this time is like we've already been here. We know what the scenery is like, and now we just focus on the game and the game at hand.
I heard you talking about the toughness and stuff. Both these teams sort of pride themselves on being tough on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Does that make this a challenging game for both teams? You're going to find out who's tougher, right?
I wouldn't say challenging. It's just part of the game of football. We got to go out there and compete, and the more physical team is going to win. And the University of Utah football team has to be that in order to come out with that trophy at the end of the year. At the end of the year.
What have you seen from Penn State's defensive front that stuck out for you?
They have a lot of really fast and good speed rushers, and they have a lot of quickness, and they have some really good interior linemen. And they have it's going to be a battle in the trenches, and I think they're going to do a good job. I think we're going to do a better job.
Thank you. Thanks, Reed.
I appreciate y'all.
Have fun this week.
Thank you.
Are any of these dudes golfers?
I know Cam is. Makai tries to be a golfer. I have golfed with Vele before, and Thomas actually golfs.
Really?
Yeah, he's pretty good, but every now and then he's a little faulty. He'll get like
Aren't we all?
he'll let his like emotions get the better of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some putter throws.
Yeah.
What's going on, Braeden?
What's going on? How are you?
Good, how you been?
I'm good.
How was Lowry's last night?
It was great. It was great. I mean, being from Texas, I don't know if it was the best prime rib.
It's funny you should say that because, somebody was asking me to rate it last night, and I was like, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, but it was like, I've tasted better. You gotta get a good smoked meat.
Yeah, not for sure. But it was decent. I like the corn and the mashed potatoes and stuff too. It was a good presentation though.
That's good. A lot of people want to talk about the physicality of Penn State's defense, and for good reason, right? I mean, they bring a lot. But for your guys' group, as a good offensive line that's gelled well together. I mean, what do you feel like you've got going against right now?
I think just chemistry and us being together, and the adversity that we face. Just not from this year, but even like last year, and having basically to be able to regroup with the same offensive line, almost, and just missing like a couple components, but to be able to hit the ground running has just been great and been a blessing. And to be able to protect the passer and something that we try to take pride in, and, running the football is something we've always tried to take pride in. But I think it's just going to be a tough game, and it's going to be won in the trenches. And I think the offensive line understands that, and I think it's something that we're ready to embrace, and it's going to be fun to do it in front of a bunch of fans.
At the beginning of the season, I think a lot of people were saying that you were kind of the leader of that offensive line. Do you feel like you've been able to do that and kind of help with that, or kind of what's that been like this year for you?
It's definitely been different, just coming in and having to lead the offensive line in a way, and like kind of just taking on that role. And if the offensive line doesn't do good, then I'm the person that they're looking at. And I think that I've done my due diligence, and I've been able to help the offensive line in ways that can make us better, and just ways that can protect Cam a little different, or a different way or a different style of doing things. But I think just helping the offensive line in a way to become and embrace a different part of the game, I guess, and having it's a tough guy sport, and embracing that part of it is something that I feel like has been a big role for us, because based on battling injuries and stuff like that throughout the season and stuff, it's been good. But Jim Harding, he's been great to us, and he's just been taking the time with us, and it's been awesome.
Coach Ludwig said that this is probably one of the toughest defenses you guys have faced. Are you able to see that on film, or are you able to kind of get that, or what's kind of your impression of Penn State?
I think they're definitely they're a good defense, and overall, put together, just from the interior to the safeties and the DBs, I think they're pretty good, and they have a pretty good scheme. But it's going to come down to physicality and who wants it more, and who's willing to go out there and get that trophy.
Maybe accepted some postseason stuff. Are you set on 100% leaving the school? Or?
Yeah, most likely we'll be declaring for the NFL, but it's been great. You're just here and just awesome, and I didn't want to leave, but it's time. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how to follow that up. Going from right tackle to left tackle, can you maybe just describe, what the challenges are of switching positions like that?
I wouldn't say there are any challenges. I would say it's more of embracing the challenges, and knocking out the rust. Because I've been playing right and left tackle since I was in high school, and that was the type of offensive scheme that we ran. The tackles would switch, so I've been doing it for a while. It's just, I would say, knocking out the rust, and having the spring ball to be able to work that left tackle set over and over has always been helpful, and just basically doing the same thing I've been doing at spring ball, but trying to do it at a higher level, during fall camp and then into the season, is something that I try to harp on and technician and be really good at.
The fact that you can play, or that you have played both tackle spots, having that versatility, how beneficial is that as you try to move on to the NFL?
Yeah, I want to enter the NFL draft as the most versatile offensive lineman in the draft. So that's something that I have to be able to embrace, and I have to be able to play all the different positions, from right and left, and having that film is something that's going to help me excel within the draft.
Just one more, Braeden. Have you had these conversations, with Coach Witt and Coach Ludd about what the future looks like, and what kind of advice have they tried to give you about this process?
Just they want to do whatever I think is best, and whatever is in my best interest, and whatever I would want to do. But just them being there to help support me, and being with them from this 4 to 5 years, and just building with them has been just great and awesome. And I feel like it's something that they would want to see in their players, as in they saw in the previous players that passed, Devin Lloyd and Mika Tufua, all those people. And I just feel like it's something that is awesome and is great for an athlete to experience.
Assuming that Monday is the end, just for you, how gratifying have these last 2 years been, being able to win the Pac-12 twice, going to the Rose Bowl twice? How gratifying is that?
Oh no, it's definitely it's been a journey, but it's been a blessing. Just from 2018 to 2022. We're not going to count 2020 because that was COVID year, but just being able to go to the Pac-12 championship in itself, all those years, even if we didn't win, but being able to go to the Pac-12 every single year has been awesome. And be able to go these last 2 years and win it, and then come to the Rose Bowl is just it's a blessing for sure.
Braeden, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So I cover Penn State football. So one of the things that's been interesting with them is Manny Diaz's defense first year with it, the exotic pressures that they bring. What are the challenges when you're trying to figure out where the pressure's coming from? Do you feel like you have a good handle on that at this kind of point after a month to prepare, basically?
Yeah, it's definitely they definitely do have like some different looks and some exotic, some things we haven't seen before, I would say. But I think it's going to be a challenge, and it's something that we are looking to see and looking forward to see, because we have been preparing and we feel like we've been trying to get those little details and those keys, trying like figure out what is coming. But I think it's going to be a great battle in the trenches, and it's gonna kind of be a chess match almost, and we're going to be able to pick up some of their pressures, and then sometimes we're going to get beat. But I mean, that's part of the game, and it's going to be exciting.
And what kind of challenge is number 11, their linebacker, because he's kind of the guy that they move all over the place. What kind of challenges does that maybe present for you?
No, he's definitely a quicker guy, and they kind of fit him into the image of Micah Parsons, I feel like.
Yep.
And I think he's going to be a great player, and I think just being a freshman and him doing what he's already doing on the field is just awesome for him, and I think he's going to be a great player in the future.
When you're watching film of Penn State, are there any guys that kind of pop out to you? Like you said, 11 obviously is that guy. Cam said when he was watching,
yeah,
he
for
said,
sure.
"Oh, we got to know." Any other guys that you kind of?
Yeah, they have. I know just from the front seven, they had a couple. Both their interior defensive linemen, they're pretty good. They're pretty solid. They can hold down the run. And number 20, and then like you said, number 11, they're pretty good. And then 23, we see him blitzing off the edge a couple of times, and so I think it's just going to be awesome and a great game to compete in.
And that's what USC was saying, that you guys obviously you go back as far as Purdue, but that throughout the year you could see Penn State's defense get more comfortable.
Yeah, for
and then
sure.
you could kind of see that. Were you able to were you picking up on that as you were watching too? Or?
No, definitely. Just I feel like that's for every team throughout the season. Just knocking off the rest of the beginning of the season, and starting to build that chemistry within that defensive whole. And I think they're gonna excel, and they have some really good players that had some all-conference accolades, and they're really good players.
Their left tackle, older-fashioned, we don't know if he's going to play or not. Hasn't played since middle of October. Have you guys got to meet at all, talked at all?
Yeah, I believe we met during the summer at the offensive line O-line masterminds in Frisco, Texas. Yeah, I think I got a chance to speak with him, and we kind of just go over like the little details and like little notes or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was good to be able to speak to him.
When you look at this Penn State defense, obviously the calling card, I guess, for Manny Diaz is the aggressive style. I mean, from your perspective, what is the main trait that when you kind of distill this defense down that stands out to you?
Just I feel like what everybody's been preaching, physicality and something that they take pride in, and then the exotic looks that they have and the different pressures, something a challenge that we're looking to embrace and something that we're looking forward to, and I think it's just going to be fun and something that we gotta get to experience.
For a Penn State fan who's hasn't watched a Utah game this year, who are your teammates that you feel like people need to know going into the market, that guys that either play big roles or could have big games for you?
Man, definitely the O-line and the D-line, I would say, just showing love to them. But I feel like they're just workers in the dark, and nothing goes without them. And Thomas Jasmine and all these guys in here, we really need everybody, and we're gonna have to be our strongest, and we're gonna have to face some adversity within the game, but it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be a fun game.
Both of these, Kyle and James have both kind of prided themselves on their teams coming here pretty much intact in terms of opt-outs. Penn State's have mostly been injury related. What is it about kind of the culture within Utah? I mean, we've heard a lot about inside Penn State. They said that this group, this culture, guys want to be here. What is it inside of Utah?
Things that we preach about over at Utah is next man up mentality. Being tough, smart guys, and just being physical really. And we have a game plan to win, and we want to go out here and excel, and that's something that we just harp on, is just being physical and trying to being the most physical team in the Pac-12, and that's something that we have to take with us into this game and something that's going to be important. Thank you.
A couple questions for you. How you doing?
How are you?
John W. Davis with the Orange County Register here in the LA area. Talk to me about your guy over there, your running back. Excuse me, Makai. What do you like about the way that he's focused at the running back position this year and ran that ball and then caught it out the backfield as well?
I don't know. I'm just nothing but good things to say about that guy. Like, I feel like he's just gone through it all, just facing adversity, like within the running back room and just, being back there and like him shining and like only getting a certain amount of plays and then him doing what he has done and then what he did last year in the Rose Bowl. I feel like he's just going to be a great addition for this football team and he's gonna help us, and I think he's just a really good team player and somebody that wants to get the job done and wants to help us win.
At this level of college football, obviously you have your own, motivations to be the best player you can be. But is there something that, like, your quarterback or your running back, is there something they can do to get you just work and push just a little bit harder, just to give you that little bit of extra motivation?
Yeah, I think all that stuff starts back, in the off season. When we're training for these times and we're training to try and go to the Rose Bowl. But whenever you wanna go out there and you wanna fight for your brothers, it's a different feeling. And I don't think anything has to be said or anything like has to be done, but it's that look in each other's eyes that you get, and you look over to the right, you look over to the left, and you see your brother, you want to go all out for him, and that's something that we take pride in.